Hi everyone, let's talk about Tapestry, Plans and Ploys. After I just did a full solo playthrough for it, and I've done one of original Tapestry. If you haven't seen those yet, go and have a look at them. They're great. So, plots and ploys. It's very much a, if you really like Tapestry, here is some more Tapestry. I really like the explanation of all of these new elements that Jamie Stegmaier, the designer of Tapestry, has put into the rules of the expansion, kind of explaining why all of these things are in here, and that they are either things to address, criticisms of the first game, that people wanted, terrain types to mean something when they explored to them, or they wanted finally you're going all the way up the exploration track to get to space to mean more than getting some resources. It can mean ongoing things where you get huge amounts of points for the rest of the game. So it can be a real incentive to race up for those things. Loads of new civilizations to give you new twists. The treasure hunters are the ones that are there to give you the meaning for the type of terrain that you're exploring onto. So loads more civilization tiles. Quite a few new Tapestry cards. I couldn't just make the playthrough just those. They had to just be mixed in there. New surprise traps rather than... You saw me draw one if you saw the playthrough, which I hope you have. Rather than just, aha, I get to flip your column instead now. It can be that I surrender, but I also get a benefit for you conquering me. There's extra ways around all of these things. And the landmarks as well are the other... probably the biggest new thing, that you have this short-term goal from the start of the game now. That's mine in the playthrough was have a row or column completed. Just race to do that, which is also going to serve you well later on in the game. But for now, concentrate on that, and you can put this huge landmark out that at the very least is going to get you an extra resource, which especially early on in the game can be massive, but will then lead to other things. And I have to say that hopefully I didn't get anything enormous wrong, but I've never ever filled my capital city so much in there. So yeah, I really enjoyed Tapestry. I hope you can see from the original video. I won't go over too much ground in this, but for something that is... I've left the rulebooks behind the camera. Something that is so light on core rules, it is just a fold-out page basically of mainly how the income turns work, and then a bit about here are the symbols that you basically need to get down. There is so much variation in it, part down to how many different things you're going to get from the Tapestry cards and the civilizations, what your ongoing bonus is going to be thanks to the Tapestry cards you've played this era, and what direction you're going to go down based on how your opponents are doing things. If you need to race to particular landmarks or to get particular benefits first, get technologies before they get wiped away, it just works beautifully. And I have to say that I don't think I'd played too much solo. I'd played some solo before the original playthrough, but after playing it, I knew I was going to do solo in here, so I've been practicing to try and not just fail at level 1 Automa. And yeah, it uses, I believe it's been used in another Automa Factory game as well, but this idea that first saw, I think, in the Gaia project, where you draw 2 cards and it's kind of the middle pattern that these 2 cards make. So just by having, you don't need a particularly massive number of cards to make suddenly a ridiculous number of variations between these things. It's like a lot of the... rather than just the most simple, say maybe Viticulture was one of the most simple Automa Factory ones, where it's something that's blocking off spaces for you and doing other things besides. But as you get into the more complex ones, it's like you need to know a few things in advance. It's not like some games bots where you have to know the flowcharts for all of these turns. A lot of it is on reference cards for you, and you kind of pick up pretty quickly that, I can ignore most of these symbols, I can ignore most of these rewards. And for the more complex things like Conquest, there's a little card reminding you of what you need to do. And the solo, I think, works beautifully. And from the fact that we learned it 2-player, I already used the shadow variants to tighten up the board in that. And so the leap to just full-on Automa isn't that huge, and it really does give you something to worry about, really. It's charging for all of the landmarks and to get to the end of all of the tracks, and you can kind of get an idea from the cars that it's gathering what it might go for. But it always surprises you what it's going to get before you all of the time. But it was nice to turn the tides in the end in this playthrough. Anyway, for Tapestry and its auto mode, another amazing job. For the expansion, I don't want to sound dismissive when I say more of the same. It's more of the same. It's what people wanted. It's all the things that had been asked for by Tapestry fans, and here they are delivered and added to the base game to just give you tons and tons more variability, and it had plenty to begin with, I think. But hey, there's plenty of playthroughs and stuff where you can make your own mind up. I've made a few hours worth of Tapestry playthroughs now, so hopefully you can watch those and get an idea of whether or not you would be interested in trying it out. Thank you for watching this one though, I really appreciate it. I'll see you for the next one, Bye.